Hey everybody, this is Abby from Realistic Kitchen and Gardens. Today is Friday, April 26th. We are just shy of 2 weeks from my last frost. And I wanted to show you what I'm working on hardening off to bring out to the garden. And I'll bring you down to what's in the garden too. White sage, getting big, should probably be up potted. Lupine needs water endlessly. I mean, this was seeded in February, so this is, I'm sure, well outgrown as a pot. The Swiss chard is loving being outside in the heat. It's 73 degrees today, or 75 rather, and it's going to get even hotter the rest of the week. So I have 6 of these, orange, red, pink. I have 1 yellow one right there, and I think 1 more red and pink. There's 3 little things of these black-eyed Susans black-eyed Susan vine, so these will get pretty big, and they'll climb. I'll be putting them on this northern edge of the fence. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those pots behind that lupine. I have my 6 lavender, and if I'm not mistaken, they're getting ready to flower. I mean, these were seeded from seed February 29th, and they're getting ready to go to flower. So I'm pretty excited. The foliage is so fragrant already, even without the flowers. So I'm really excited for these plants. They need a little water too. Cilantro is doing well, and the dill. This will be transplanted into a raised bed that I have set aside for like annual herbs, not perennials like thyme and oregano and all that. And the chives are starting to bloom. So last year I did chive blossom vinegar, like a sweet vinegar, just like marinated vinegar, not from scratch. And it was so good in salads. Let me bring you around the corner for a real quick peek at these raspberry canes. I am so excited for these plants. I am going to be assuming we don't have a really hard, aggressive frost, and assuming I get good pollination. All 4 of these plants are fully loaded with blooms. We need to trim this grass here. We didn't trim last weekend. We ran out of time. But like all of these canes are fully loaded with blooms. I'm so excited. Weirdly, that one little patch must have gotten nipped by frost or burned off or something. And then they have tons of pups down there. I would riffle through and see how many there are, but raspberries are thorny. But all of them have pups coming up. This one has probably at least 4 or 5 pups, and this is how they spread. So the plan with these, as I've said in the past, the plan with these is as they spread, we'll keep them in one row all along, and just keep them in that one row. We won't let them get closer to the foundation, and we won't let them get closer. We just kind of picked a random cusp here and are going to keep it that way. So let's take a quick jaunt down to the garden. So unfortunately, it's been pretty hot for how early it is. I don't think it's supposed to be in the 70s to 80s yet this time of year. So things that prefer the cool weather, like peas and brassicas that prefer the cool crops, they're either slowing down or kind of stunted. I mean, these have only just been transplanted too, so I'm sure they're struggling. I did actually I'll go down row by row like I usually do, get y'all in the habit with me. This garden's going to be fun this year. I won't be able to do one side view like I did the smaller garden last year. Garlic, no change. Onions are actually getting pretty established. I don't know what I expected from them, but their harvest is supposed to be in July along with the garlic. So doing pretty good. I haven't tried to backfill that area that got really damaged by all the runoff. I'm just kind of going with what's there. These are all the brassicas I have. I'm doing, if you haven't seen my garden plan, it's going to make the most sense if you look at the garden plan, because I'm doing a crop rotation year of each row is a type of crop. And this is my brassica row for this time of year. My fall garden, the 2 allium rows will be brassica, I believe will be brassica rows, or it'll be this bean row. Anyway, Chinese cabbage has been establishing nicely. This was transplanted, I think, 2 weeks ago. This is, trying to read the tag, this is Varroa, 2 Varroa. This is Primero, which is red. And then this is Tender Sweet. Those are the low flat cabbages. Omero cabbage, Tiara, Pixie, not growing Tiara. I may grow Tiara again, I kind of missed that one. Pixie, which is actually a container type variety from, it's either Renee's or Annie's. I'm gonna have to look now. I just transplanted these yesterday, day before yesterday. So these will be significantly smaller than those. You won't really be able to see that very well, but there's the, God, that's invisible in there, isn't it? There's the kale. Maybe you can see that one better. The purple moon, that's what it is. And then, so all of those were spaced 1.5 feet. This is the blue ribbon broccoli from Gurney's Seeds. They require 3-foot spacing. So from plant to plant, 3 feet. But they're also supposed to get really, really big. So if the head, it's a heading broccoli, not a sprouting broccoli. So if this does get as big, then I'll accept that. But there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I guess I had 6. All right, that's impressive. So 6 broccoli, blue ribbon broccoli, and then you can tell an obvious difference between the broccoli plant and the cauliflower plant. This is Clementine cauliflower, which the heads are supposed to be like a, kind of like a creamsicle orange. There's 6 of those also. These, I can't tell if these have insect damage or are sunburned or what. I just watered too. But like this patterning on the leaf, I have a feeling is sunburn, but they were hardened off like the broccoli and all that. Again, transplanted a couple days ago. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It may not be a very hardy variety, but it's the shortest day length variety. I think it's 55 days. And then all the rest of the broccoli, cauliflowers were like in the 60s and 70 days. So I was hoping this would be a decent spring variety. So we'll see. Nothing in this row yet. This is supposed to be the row with tomatoes and peppers. Going off memory, I have a really big garden this year. I can't remember everything. I'm pretty sure this is the row with tomatoes and peppers. These are shallots. God, that's such a pathetic comparison. So there's shallots and leeks. These leeks did so poorly. I didn't even baby them either. This is just kind of what happened. So I got 70 some leeks, or shallots. I got 60 some shallots after seeding 100. So I got a good like 60%. And then I got 12 leeks. So one of these is supposed to be a companion to the peppers, which I believe are going to be down the east end of the row, east half of the row. And then the other half was going to be companions to the carrots. Alliums, onion families, are supposed to be good companions to keep like carrot fly and that kind of thing out, which are pests to carrots. And the carrots are in this row, but down this stake that way. But don't know how well they'll do. I really need to try, I really need to try pelleted seed for carrots. I did not baby my carrots this year. I seeded them right before that huge storm that did all this bad washout, and I'm half expecting to find carrots in the allium rows. So we'll see. Anyway, potatoes. I showed you a picture the other day that with a light frost, the potato greens will get killed off. But I mean, there it is right there. This is Rocky Mountain, this is caribou russet on this end. 3 varieties. The russet and the Vivaldi, which are the middle, are the same. They're both considered mid-season, but this will be harvested as a new potato, and those will be harvested as a storage potato after the greens die off. Let me see if I can find any of the carrot greens. I know this side did. Oh, look at that, right away. So these, if you haven't seen really baby carrots, there's 2 right next to each other. So these are the not true leaves. There's a special name that starts with a C, and I'll never know it off the top of my head. But then there's the first true leaf. So I seeded Bolero carrot on this side of this row, right along here. My intention was to do either shallots or leeks down the middle, because the leeks would go into the winter, where the shallots would go into like July, August. So one or the other would stay longer. And I don't really have any plans for a crop after the carrots come out. So either way, but I only have 12 leeks, so it's kind of moot. Like, it doesn't really matter. I know those 2 were there. Those were really the only ones I could find. I just found 2 more. It's amazing I found these. I joke that I'm blind. I should really water these poor things. Survival of the fittest in this garden. And then the other side, I had seeded some old seed I had, you know, just kind of use it up, of Parisian, which are those like short, stocky little like ball type carrots. And I think the seed was too old. I mean, I think they're supposed to have a longer lifespan, you know, of seed varieties, but you know, this is the other side of the carrot row. This is the whole cucumber row. I remember now. I looked at my garden plan. This is the whole cucumber row. So it's gonna have slicing cucumbers, pickling cucumbers, and it'll have like 2 or 3 zucchini plants, because even then I'll still be drowning in zucchini. So that's that row. But back to this one where the carrots are. Here's the sweet peas, which are flowers that are going to be companions, and they are in the pea family. You just can't eat them for whatever reason. I don't know that much about them, but they're having a rough time transitioning. Again, I just watered. Meh. We'll see if they make it. If they don't, I'll just seed more. I got plenty of seeds. But these will be companions to the celery root, and the rest of this section up to the carrot section will be Utah tall celery. And then I believe this is either okra or tomatillos. I forget where the okra is going. That might be, no, those are potatoes. I don't know. I forget where one of the others is going. Both take up a lot of room. Again, carrots, you can see the stake. That's the only way I can tell. Cucumber row. This will be the row with all of the squashes, like gourd squashes, and the watermelons will be down that more tilled up edge of the row. But this is where the peas are. I haven't weeded very well, so you're gonna have to deal with it. Tall telephone pea, cruising along with struggles. Peas don't like the heat. And I'm probably not gonna get much from these peas this year in reality, just because of how late it is and how hot it is already. These are the snow peas, the little purple snow peas. The flowers are purple, the pods are not. I planted a ton of these because I said I'm gonna get peas, dang it. There's a section that I've already walked by. I think it's here. There's like 3 or 4, there's like 4, maybe it's right here. The little purple ones seem to get this tinge on the edge of them, but the tall telephone doesn't, so I'm pretty sure this is a tall telephone, which is a shell pea, and the snow pea is a pod pea. Like, you eat it for the pod, not the shelling pea. And there's one more, where is it? Here's the other tall telephone. So we'll see how it goes. Again, down where the watermelons are, it's not a kid's song or a kid's book or something, down where the watermelons grow. That just brought back a bunch of nostalgia. That was interesting. And then, don't mind me. And then this cover crop row, which is field pea, rye, groundhog radish. Sorry, turnip and radish look practically the same leaf-wise. And then hairy vetch. So these will be the radish. The roots get really big and drill down into the ground to help break it up. And when they start rotting, they'll help fertilize the ground. And then the rest is like a nutrient thing. So when you grind up, in theory, you should till all this in. I don't know if I will do that, but it's meant to be a combination of breaking up the ground and a, what they call green manure. We'll see how that goes. This is for the large crop of fall carrots and fall parsnips, which will just be straight half and half parsnips, half carrots, and I'm doing pelleted seed for both. I know I'm doing pelleted parsnip because I bought it after last year's one parsnip fail. So that's the garden. I know I always end up going off on tangents, and I hope you guys like my random tangents, because that's just what my brain does. But if you like this kind of stuff, please like, comment, and subscribe. I usually do weekly walkthroughs, especially during the high gardening season. I really want y'all to be able to see how everything changes so quickly and why, to me, it's such a joy to grow. To me, the joy of growing is watching everything change so dramatically. It's so impressive and really fun. Anyway, also follow along on Facebook, Realistic Kitchen and Gardens. Thanks, bye.